after completing the Skywalker Saga, I decided I'm gonna take a break and just play something relaxing. So I went back and like looked at some of the achievements, and I was like, wait, I haven't like 100%ed Plants vs Zombies, and I played this game like so many times. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Today's the day I'm gonna finish it. I'm missing 2 achievements. I'm missing the Tree Wisdom, and I just have to get to 100 feet. And I'm missing the Endless one, where you have to beat 40 flags. So that's what this video is about. When I finally started, I realized my tree was already at 72 feet, and then my Endless record was actually 32 flags. Pretty close, right? How hard could this be? I guess we'll find out, but I did the math also on the tree food just to see like how much I need. I need 70,000 to get the tree up to 100. That's a lot, but we'll tackle that once we finish Endless, right? So first strategy I went for is just load the entire lawn with just Walmart, and we'll have like a Walmart. Oh my, walnuts. Oh, melon pulse. Oh my god, melon pulse. And I had one frozen one on each of the lanes, and then I eventually put one in the pool lane as well. But I also wanted to put like 2 more cobs in like the front, but I realized that the zombies come up there, so I couldn't because I can't really defend those. So then I just put a bunch of tall nuts, and then I put a bunch of gloon shrooms just in the rest of the pool slots, because honestly the pool was like not even threatening. Like out of this entire run, nothing got through the pool. As soon as the pool was set up, even in the early stages, like nothing was getting past the pool. So I knew the pool was pretty safe, and that's why I wanted my cob gun in there. I also later added 2 magnet shrooms because I didn't really know what to do with those 2 slots, so I just put 2 magnet shrooms and maybe they would help out. But I mean, lo and behold, maybe filling your entire lane with just melon pulse, yeah, not gonna get you to 40 waves. That does nothing, especially when you have things like the miner. The miner was a huge problem with this, at least with this defense. And Zambonis were a huge problem. The red gargantuas were a huge problem. So obviously this defense, not really going to be doing anything. It really sucked, honestly. But it was the first draft. We have way more to go. So second attempt comes around, and I decided to go in the other direction. What if I just fill my entire lane with P-Gatlings? Is that smart? I mean, no, obviously not. But I just wanted to see like kind of where things were like, how they would go. Like I wanted to see what melon pulse were doing, and I wanted to see what like Gatling Peas were doing with Torchwood. But what I realized with the Torchwood and the Gatling Pea is, dude, things die. Like things are not getting past really quickly. So it's really good DPS. And again, pool untouchable. Nothing, not even like, I think the only time the pool actually got damage was for some reason if a magnet shroom like picks up a jack-in-the-box from a jack-in-the-box zombie, and it's like he was about to explode, it sometimes just goes and just blows up on the magnet shroom, but doesn't do like its full explosion. It'll just like take away the magnet shroom slot. So sometimes I would just have a random open slot. Yeah, nice voice crack, you idiot. Jesus Christ. But yeah, eventually this fell as well. But who's surprised, honestly? Before we move on to the third attempt, though, I just want to point out what I realized. If you can see the top row there, it's just filled with ladders, screen doors, and garbage cans. It's because I didn't have anything for it, and the game was just like, why don't we just throw that all at them? And yeah, that works. Good job, zombies, you got me. So I learned that, so there we go. Another thing to note is by playing Endless so much, I actually just gained enough money to get my tree to 100. So, you know, I didn't even have to focus on that. This video is just an Endless video, I guess. this wasn't even an issue. Like, I was getting so much money, especially sometimes I would run into like treasure yetis, and they would drop like 3 diamonds. Yeah, that was easy. So we got that one. So attempt 3 comes around, and I'm like, why don't I just combine both of these strategies? I'll have melons in the back, and I'll have gatlings in the front, just so they can deal. The melons can deal with like the trash cans and all those zombies that are really hard for the gatling, and then the gatling can also do a bunch of damage with the torchwood. And it sounds good on paper, but like when you don't have enough gatlings to do enough damage for when those red gargs come in, it gets a bit hairy. And then also, miners were a huge problem, and you're not gonna like this, but don't look in front of the torches. I swear there's nothing cursed. There's nothing wrong. Listen, I didn't think of anything for the miners, so I was like, you know what? worst comes to work, I'll just put a split pea in the defense. It sounds crazy, but it was working. It was, for some reason, because I put him in front of the torchwood, he was shooting fireballs back at the miners. They were kind of being dealt with, so I was like, yo, this is fire, this is working out. But all funny things come to an end, because, yeah, I just simply didn't have enough DPS to deal with all this chaos. Split pea, he was doing the miners, like, dealing with them, but, like, was he doing anything in front of him? Absolutely not, especially when he's behind or in front of the torchwood. He's just shooting a regular pea, so I just technically just have a pea shooter in the defense. Yeah, not gonna work out. I needed to think of a different plan, and planning I did. So, attempt 4 comes around, and I was like, I had to do some serious thinking, because obviously I was doing a lot wrong. The first 2 attempts were just kind of testing, and the third attempt was... I don't even know what third attempt. Split pea was in it, so I don't even know. I don't really know what I was thinking, but I needed to think of something. And another main problem I haven't really brought up was when I was getting into the later rounds, because I got rid of all my sunflowers, I just didn't have enough sun filled up in the bank to really keep up. Like, I couldn't like drop my doom shrooms or like my cherry bombs. So I needed to play the early game very, very slow and then kind of build up that sun bank. Another big problem that was consistent was the freaking miners, man. Those miners, oh my god. Magnet shrooms weren't doing shit because they were picking up everything else. So I was like, I need something. And then like I had an epiphany. I was like, wait, why don't I just put a gloom shroom in the back? Just get rid of the melons, like one of them, and just put a gloom shroom there. Why didn't I think of that earlier? It's so easy. So yeah, I did that and it worked out fine. I just had to make sure I had to keep an eye on it because enough miners, like eventually they would just eat the pumpkins. So I just had to keep updating the pumpkins like every once in a while. I also got rid of the tall nuts. I realized, why do I need tall nuts if the only thing that's going to destroy it are like one shots? So Zambonis and guards are the only thing that really got through them. So like why waste space for that? So got rid of those. And by getting rid of the tall nuts, I had space to move my spike rots because the basketball like nets were never a threat because I had an umbrella leaf always in the back. But the problem is the spike weeds were on the second slot up front. So when they would just drive up, they would just pop the thing. And that was completely wasting the durability of the spike rock. It was mainly just used for either stalling Gargs or Zambonis that got too far. And I didn't really need them for the basketball, so they were just wasting durability. So instead of just having it to constantly refresh the spike rock, I just moved them back. And then I also added another gloom shroom in the pool because, you know, why not? And to make sure the top lane, the closest lane, sorry, to the pool was like very confident, or like Shakir, safe, completely safe. I just put a 1 melon on like those 2 lanes to slow everything coming down that. So when they're slowly walking through, they're just getting hit by the gloom shrooms and they would just get deleted. And then I would have the DPS rows with the Gatlings just all in the back. And with all the brain power I had to use, that actually worked out. I managed to get to 40 waves. I actually got to 42. And then I was like very confused because the achievement wasn't proccing. And then I realized I had to die because it didn't technically update. So I didn't get the recording of the achievement popping, but you can see in the bottom, I've reached 40 flags. So we did it. And it didn't take fucking 4 days. Oh my god, Skywalker Saga took 4 days to do. Painful.